In the bustling market of Baghdad, a place constantly alive with crowds and chatter, Caliph Harunur Rashid walked disguised one day with his vizier, Jafar. His aim was to observe the lives of ordinary people up close. Suddenly, their attention was drawn to an old blind fakir who sat in a corner of the market, begging. But his manner of begging was so peculiar that it astounded the Caliph. Whenever a passerby gave him something, the fakir would grasp their hand and make a strange request. He would plead, "Oh, kind-hearted person, you have given me a donation. Now do me another favor for Allah's sake. Give me a hard slap across my cheek." Sounds astonishing, doesn't it? The Caliph was also surprised. A passerby would initially hesitate, but eventually, succumbing to the fakir's pleading and insistence, would give him a light slap and walk away. Caliph Harunur Rashid and Vizier Jafar were bewildered by this odd sight. A question arose in their minds. Why would a person willingly endure such humiliation? What mystery lay behind this blindness and strange penance? Driven by curiosity, the Caliph decided to uncover this mystery. Upon returning to the palace, he immediately ordered Vizier Jafar to bring the blind fakir before him. The Caliph felt that this fakir must be carrying some deep sorrow or a terrible secret in his heart. Fakir Abdullah, trembling with fear at the Caliph's summons, appeared before the court. In the pin-drop silence, the Caliph gently questioned him about his identity and the reason for his strange behavior. The Caliph asked, "O elder, what is your name, and why do you make people slap you? Tell the truth, or your silence will compel us to be harsh." Abdullah lowered his head and began to weep. Then, in a trembling voice, he introduced himself. Abdullah. He revealed that he had not always been blind or a fakir. Once, he was the owner of a caravan of 80 camels, a wealthy merchant. But his current state was not due to fate, but rather the result of his own boundless greed and a terrible sin. These slaps were his punishment for that sin, a punishment he inflicted upon himself. Caliph Harunur Rashid was stunned. The owner of 80 camels was now begging for a morsel of food. What had happened in his life that brought him down from the heavens to the earth? Abdullah sighed deeply and began to narrate his painful life story, which was a profound lesson in itself. He began, "Your Majesty, I was traveling with my 80 camels, laden with goods across the desert. My business was flourishing, and my heart was filled with the arrogance of wealth. One day I met a dervish on the way. He was resting on a stone in simple attire. We ate together, and in conversation, that dervish told me about a hidden treasure that awakened the dormant greed within me. The dervish revealed that he knew a place where gold, silver, and diamonds lay hidden like mountains beneath the earth. At the mention of treasure, Abdullah's eyes sparkled. He told the dervish that if he would lead him to the treasure site, they would share it equally. The dervish agreed, but on the condition that 40 of the 80 camels would be his and 40 would be Abdullah's. Abdullah's greed had grown so immense that he agreed without a second thought. He imagined that 40 camels loaded with gold would be so much that he would become the wealthiest person in the world. They changed their path and headed towards that desolate part of the desert where both death and wealth awaited them. After a long journey, they reached a narrow valley between two black mountains. The dervish gathered wood, threw a strange powder into the fire, and thick smoke billowed up. As he chanted spells, the ground began to tremble. The mountain split open, revealing an unbelievable sight before Abdullah's eyes. Not a mere cave, but a palace of gold. Diamonds, emeralds, and coins glittered everywhere. In Abdullah's words, that was where his ruin began. There was so much gold and jewelry inside the mountain that his senses were overcome by greed. He and the dervish frantically filled sacks with coins and precious stones. All 80 of his camels were loaded with wealth. Abdullah thought, if I could, I would take the whole mountain with me. But even the camels had a limit to their strength. At that time, nothing but the dazzling allure of wealth was in his eyes. After all the riches were loaded, they came out of the cave. The dervish recited the spell again, and instantly the mountain closed up and the treasure disappeared forever. As promised, the 80 camels were divided, 40 for Abdullah and 40 for the dervish. They embraced each other and bid farewell. The dervish went his way, and Abdullah took his 40 camels on his own path. But this is where the story took a turn. The further Abdullah went, the more the devil within him awakened. A thought came to his mind. What use did this fakir have for so much wealth? He could be happy in the jungle, but I am a merchant. All of this should belong to me. The devil whispered in his ear, if I get these 40 camels too, I will become the richest person not only in Baghdad, but in the entire world. Greed placed such a veil over Abdullah's eyes that he left his camels there and chased after the dervish. The dervish saw Abdullah and gently asked, "What happened, Abdullah? Have you lost your way?" Abdullah cunningly said, "O kind dervish, I was just thinking on the road that you are a pious man and far removed from worldly affairs. Managing these 40 camels is beyond your capacity. These animals are very stubborn. You will forget your prayers while looking after them. My advice is that you return 10 of these camels to me, and these 30 camels will be sufficient for you." To his astonishment, Abdullah saw that the dervish did not take offense at his words. He smiled and said, "You are right, Abdullah. My freedom and worship are dearer to me than wealth. If you think you can manage them well, then take them. Add 10 camels to your caravan." Abdullah was happy to get 10 camels, but his thirst was not quenched. The devil whispered again, "See how easily he gave you 10 camels. It means they hold no value for him." He went back to the dervish again and asked for another 10 camels. Abdullah said, "Oh, my brother, I still feel that 30 camels are too many for you. Why are you inviting such a great danger alone in the desert? Give me another 10 camels." The dervish looked at him with a deep gaze. Perhaps he could sense the growing greed within him, but he did not even sigh and said, "Take them, Abdullah. If it brings you peace, then take these 10 too." Thus, Abdullah now had 60 camels, and the dervish had only 20 camels left. Abdullah told the Caliph, "Your Majesty, greed is a bottomless well. I kept asking him for camels again and again, and he kept showing his generosity and giving them to me. Eventually, the situation came to a point where Abdullah demanded all 40 of the dervish's camels. The dervish did not keep a single camel for himself and gave all of them to Abdullah. Now Abdullah owned all 80 camels and immense hidden treasure. He should have thanked the dervish and fled from there. But observe human nature. Abdullah's greed had still not ended. When the dervish began to leave empty-handed, Abdullah's eyes fell on his pocket. He remembered that the dervish had picked up a small container from the cave. Abdullah suspected that surely there was something precious in that container, more valuable than all this treasure. That's why he gave up the camels but kept the container for himself. Abdullah stopped him again and said, "O dervish, you have given me all the camels. Your virtue is unparalleled. But what will you do with that empty container now? Give that to me too, so you can be completely free." Hearing this, the dervish said, "Abdullah, stop now. I have given you all my wealth, but do not ask for this container. It is of no use to you, and danger is hidden within it." But was Abdullah one to listen? He insisted that he wanted that container too. Finally, exasperated, the dervish took out the container and placed it in Abdullah's hand. Abdullah quickly opened it. Inside was a type of coal. He asked in surprise, "Only coal? You made such a fuss for this? What's special about it?" The dervish replied gravely, "Oh, Abdullah, this is no ordinary coal. It is the coal of the jinn. If it is applied to a person's left eye, that person can see all the hidden treasures beneath the earth. But if it is mistakenly applied to the right eye, the person becomes permanently blind." At the mention of treasure, Abdullah went mad. He thought that if he applied this coal, he would be able to find all the treasures in the world. These 80 camels were nothing compared to that. Then he told the dervish, "O kind man, please apply this coal to my left eye with your own hand so I can see its magic." The dervish tried to explain to Abdullah that the consequences of greed are bad. Be content with what you have received. But Abdullah's eyes were covered by the veil of death and greed. He did not listen to a single word. Reluctantly, the dervish applied the coal to Abdullah's left eye. As soon as the coal was applied, a new world opened before Abdullah. He could clearly see heaps of gold buried beneath the desert sands. Seeing so many diamonds and jewels, he began to dance with joy. But instead of thanking God, his greed crossed the limits of madness. A devilish thought came into his mind. He thought, if applying coal to one eye reveals so much treasure, then if I apply this coal to my other eye too, perhaps I can take control of these treasures and become their owner. He told the dervish, "Oh friend, please apply this coal to my right eye as well." Hearing this, the dervish recoiled and cried out, "Abdullah, fear God. Have you forgotten what I told you? If this coal touches your right eye, you will become permanently blind. There will be nothing but darkness in your world." But Abdullah thought the dervish was lying to him. He thought the dervish did not want him to become the full owner of the treasure. He must be hiding something from him. When the dervish refused, he angrily said, "You are envious of me. You don't want me to gain full power. I don't need your advice. Just apply the coal to my other eye." The dervish tried to stop Abdullah many times. He swore, but Abdullah did not listen to a single word. He said, "If you don't apply it, I will force you." Finally, the dervish said in despair, "All right, Abdullah, if this is what is written in your fate, what can I do? Go ahead and reap what you sow." Then the dervish took the coal with his trembling hands, and as soon as he applied it to Abdullah's right eye, Your Majesty, at that very moment, deep darkness descended upon Abdullah. The treasure, the desert, the camels, the light, everything disappeared. It was as if someone had extinguished the light in his eyes forever. He cried out, "Oh, dervish, what happened? I've gone blind. I can't see anything." The dervish said with a voice full of regret, "I warned you, but your greed has blinded you." Father Abdullah fell to the ground, writhing. He wept and clasped the dervish's feet, pleading, "Oh, kind man, forgive me. I give you everything I have. These 80 camels, all this gold. Take it all. Just return the light to my eyes, I beg you." The dervish freed his hands and said in a stern voice, "Abdullah, it's too late now. This blindness is not of your body, but of your greed. No wealth in the world can bring back your light now." What happened next was the most terrible consequence of Abdullah's greed. That dervish, right before his eyes, took the ropes of all 80 of his camels and led them away with him. All the treasure Abdullah had collected slipped from his grasp. He was left alone, blind, and abandoned in the scorching desert sands. He kept screaming, but there was no one there to hear his voice. Only silence. He wandered in that desolate wilderness for several days. Hunger and thirst almost took his life. Every moment he remembered the dervish's words, "To be content with what you have." He thought, if I'd been patient with 40 camels, I would be a king today. If I had settled for 10 camels, I would be rich. But I wanted everything, and in return, I got nothing. My condition became like the washerman's dog. neither of the house nor of the Ghat. Fortunately, a passing caravan spotted him and rescued him, bringing him here. Once here, he realized that he had no other option but to beg, but his conscience reproached him. He vowed that whenever he took alms from anyone, he would surely ask them to slap him, so that at every moment, at every time, he would remember that this punishment was his own doing. This slap landed not on his cheek, but on his greed. As he narrated the story, Father Abdullah's voice choked, and he sobbed in the court. He folded his hands and told the Caliph, "That's my story, Amir al-Mu'minin. I am such an unfortunate merchant who dug his own grave. I don't ask for money from people, but for punishment for my mistakes, so that Allah may forgive me in the afterlife." Caliph Harun al-Rashid was stunned by this story. Everyone present in the court had tears in their eyes. The Caliph sighed deeply and said softly, "Indeed, greed is destructive, Abdullah. Your story is greater than 1,000 sermons. You have made a very big mistake, but your repentance is genuine, and you have paid its price with your 2 eyes." Then the Caliph ordered Vizier Jafar, "Jafar, allocate a quiet room in the back part of the palace to Father Abdullah. All his needs, food, clothing, medicine, shall be met from the royal treasury. From today, he is free from the humiliation of begging." Then the Caliph himself took Father Abdullah's hand and declared, "O elder, you will no longer let yourself be slapped. You have suffered more punishment than you deserved. Now you will spend the rest of your life in our palace. Any guest who comes, any soldier, any young person who comes to the court to learn, you will tell them your true story, so that no other Abdullah falls into this pit of greed. Every word that comes from your mouth will be the greatest lesson for the children and adults of Baghdad." From then on, Father Abdullah lived in a small but clean courtyard of the palace. From morning till evening, people would come to him. Any young merchant, any newly wealthy person, any curious student. They would sit around the blind old man, and he would tell his old story in his trembling but melodious voice. He would say, "My children, even though I owned 80 camels, I wanted everything and lost everything. There is peace in what God has given. The eye of greed is never filled, and the eye that is filled with greed one day becomes empty of light." And every time the story ended, the entire courtyard would be plunged into silence. Then some youth would kiss his hand weeping and vow that they would never infringe on anyone else's rights. Thus, Father Abdullah's blind eyes never returned. But his story opened thousands upon thousands of other eyes. In Baghdad, whenever someone spoke of greed, people would smile and say, "Let's go to Father Abdullah. He will tell us what the consequence of greed is." The biggest lesson from this story is that a person's real enemy is not outside. It is the greed residing within their own mind. Abdullah had 80 camels, wealth, and business. Everything. But a glimpse of hidden treasure stole his wisdom. He took advantage of the dervish's honesty. He took his camels and then, in his greed for a small container, lost his own eyes. The story tells us that the person who is swept away by the hunger for a little more is left empty-handed. Virtue, trust, and contentment elevate a person, whereas greed blinds a person, sometimes from the mind, sometimes from the eyes, and sometimes from fate. In the end, victory belongs to him who learns to be grateful for what God has given. How did you like this educational story? We hope this amazing story touched your heart. If you want to see more such thrilling stories, moral stories, ghost stories, and mystery stories, please subscribe to our channel and stay with us. If you enjoy fairy tales, you can check out our other videos as well. On our channel, you will find various types of stories, such as inspirational stories, short stories, and life stories. If you liked the video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to leave your valuable feedback in the comment section. If you are interested in hearing your inspirational stories or funny stories, let us know in the comments. See you again in the next story.